Hi everybody, it's Peter, and this is part of the savvy sexual. I keep getting that thing wrong, but again with the VEDA, vlog every day in August. Unless you're like me and I didn't blog every day, I'm actually blogging every other day. And actually, I missed the entire weekend. I didn't do 5, 6, 7, or 8. So, well, because of things or time are busy, I can't remember what I was doing. What was Friday? Actually, Friday I wasn't really into it. I was just actually really tired, that kind of thing, health issues, not feeling up to it. I was planning on doing other things, and the heat, the weather, everything else just took over me, so I just really didn't feel like doing it. I think I even had a major nap in the evening. Day 6 was Saturday. Saturday was what? Saturday was actually, again, a busy day, time with family. My mother and I went out for dinner. And then that evening, I went out to a private club and spent my evening there. So, again, not time to do that. Saturday was a gaming day with my friends. So, again, other priorities. Life gets in the way. So, not really a time. Basically, I got up, got ready to eat, go, and headed over there and, spent the most of the day there. And I always sleep in every day. And since my schedule is right now, I'm basically a night person. So, unless I got up really, really early and say, I'm going to get up and do this, but nah. But so anyway, I figured I'd do a condensed version, probably 2 minutes at a time, but I'm actually doing 2 minutes for this intro. So we'll try to keep it that. So day five's question was, what was your favorite book of all time? I would say back in the day when I was younger, I read quite a few times, and actually the other day too, I did download a digital copy of Robert Heinlein's Starship Troopers. Not to be confused with the horrific version that Paul Verhoeven did back in the 90s, which is basically he literally turned it from a fascist state and literally made it fascist with Oberleutnant Doogie Howser and all these sort of Germanic Gothic looking characters. Where are the color people? If you actually read the book, the characters do come from Rio de Janeiro. Sorry. Anyway, South America. We won't get into semantics right now, but if you Google it, look up in Wikipedia, all the characters, like Juan Rico is the main character, but his friends called him Johnny. So when they did the movie version, they called him still Johnny. But everybody was Hispanic characters. Yes, it was, in the future. Actually, what was really amazing about the book was it was written in the 50s, and everything from like powered armor to head-up display to rocket launchers, and these things were not around in the 50s, but for sci-fi, it's, around the same time as Isaac Asimov and other great writers. I really liked it. I read it. I forget how many times I read the book, and I mean, as a book, I really liked it. I just didn't like the movie versions. Verhoeven really took the book literally. What really would have been great was, like I said, it was powered armor. These guys jumped from space like paratroopers, but they did it from orbit, and they land in these power suits, and their head-up displays would come on and show all their readings. Uh, and it sounded like really, really amazing when you're a kid reading all this. Wow, yeah. And then they actually did try to do a cartoon series, but it came out after the movie. So the way they did what they were fighting were called bugs, which is basically intelligent insectoids, but they were like these huge monster type creatures. In the book, they never really, I don't think, went into details on the size. They were bigger than men. Um, but I really thought like some of the scientific things that, like I said, like the power armor, that was one of my keenest things in the whole book, and they didn't do that in the movie. They basically had them jump out as if it was a troop ship, just wearing helmets and guns, and it was like lots of screaming and yelling. And yes, it's a war picture, sure, but I didn't like their take on it. And they did, like I said, they did do a cartoon series. Where they did have the characters in powered armor, but they kept the same bug animation that they did from the movie, which again I did not like. And another quick note on a book I really did like reading was The Hunger Games. After seeing the first movie, I thought, okay, I'm going to download onto my tablet the book or the trilogy. And what I really liked about it was like watching the old 30s serials. Tune in next week for the next exciting episode, and that's how every chapter in Hunger Games was. It was just like you got the other chapter. I'm like, what? No, I want more. So I'd look at my watch like, oh yeah, I don't have to get up until then for work. So yeah, I'm gonna read another chapter. never had that much enthusiasm in reading. I couldn't put the book down. I was really more of the tablet in this case. And I basically powered through all 3 books quite quickly. But overall, I thought for a book, it held my interest. It takes a book. I used to be an avid reader back in the 80s. I still have all my books from the 80s. Usually more now watch movies and or YouTube videos. So next question is, what would I like to be if I grow up? Well, I haven't grown up yet, so I still don't know what I want to be. I did have aspirations when I was younger. I wanted to be a marine biologist, but I wasn't smart enough for the sciences. So I just ended up joining the Army after high school. I was actually going to go into electronics, but the wait time was too long, so I got talked into going into the Armor Corps, driving tanks and doing reconnaissance, or as the Brits and the Canadians say, doing some recce, and doing that for 7 years. Then I came back out. I went back to college, and I actually got into doing it was called Computer Graphics Technical Co-op. But the co-op option me, if there was a co-op job available, you could go to that, and I ended up working for the Department of National Defense's graphic department for one summer, which was kind of cool. It was basically learning how to do CAD, architectural type drawing. What's it called? Isometric drawing, where basically when you're looking at an object 60-40 angle, when you're looking at a book or things that are in a technical manual. I was working with that department for 3 months. So that kind of stuff I would have liked doing, or doing 3D animation. But computers were not that powerful at the time. It took a long time to render. So yeah, but that would have been somewhere interesting to go into, working with computers. I ended up just doing more technical support over the years with computers. I am still liking doing now video editing, or playing with Audacity. And the other day I made my friend a video CD. So those kind of things, any kind of creative thing I like doing. I wish actually if I be something that grow up would be a millionaire, just so I would have the time to do all these different interests, or pursue them, that kind of thing, and have the time and the effort and the funding. But sometimes life doesn't let you do that. So we're powering through here, and we're skipping on to day 7 question. What is your favorite YouTube video? Well, that's a really tricky question because I've been watching YouTube since about 2013. I got the YouTube bug. I probably was watching YouTube before that, but that's when I got into getting my own channel. Some of the bug that bit me was watching people, voice actors, people doing impressions, because I used to do impressions as a young person. But some of the impressions I can't do nowadays because most of the millennials won't get, like, who is that? Who is Dean Martin? Who is Foster Brooks? Richard Little wasn't one of my heroes. So people that are creative, I usually like watching them. There are some people I'm watching now through the VEDA. I'm interested in them. There's a young guy in New York who runs a show called Pimp My Setup, not to be confused with Pimp My Rides. It's the same logo, about doing computer setups, and I kind of like that because since I've been off, I've been a bit of a, off from work, and because of stress and all that kind of stuff. So last year I didn't do too much. This year actually I sort of got out of my rut and watching his show, but fixing up your setup and doing things with the computer and making your room pretty, or that kind of thing. I mean, as you can see in the background, I do have quite the collectibles, and I did submit my pictures of my room. I do have a lot of clutter, but it's an organized clutter. I'm not a hoarder. If you can even see behind me, I mean, I do have some things here lying there. I have my videos over there, and I've got some of my hats for my videos and other things I may leave lying around. So I'm not clean or pristine, but I do work out of this room, even in my spare time when I am normally working. This is what we call the study in the house. I usually joke I have an organized mess. So let's move on to the next question. The next question is, what do I do for fun? Well, this could be all day with this because we're now at the 11.5-minute mark. So what do I do for fun? Well, obviously doing YouTube videos. I'm doing that for fun. That's one of my new things. I do like working with my computer. I am still in the market for upgrading my computer case. It's one thing that I do for fun. I have other things I do for fun too, but we cannot talk about this because it's not safe for work kind of talk. And since it's probably all family oriented, we can't mention these things. But, I have fun like any other grown up, that kind of thing, other than computers and movies. So I'm always up to something, or try to be up to something. I don't want to just be sitting around, twiddling my thumbs. Anyway, we're coming up on the 14-minute mark, so I've actually crammed in 4 days into 14 minutes, which is not too bad. This will probably get still edited down to something more viewable, hopefully. But yes, maybe I should try to do everything in, because I do like to talk. I could be forever on what they do for fun and all the other subjects that are covered. I mean, there's so many things. And I'm finding now that I'm doing, one good thing about doing the VEDA vlog every day in August, whatever you want to call it. I find once I am comfortable with the camera and I know that the camera is up there and you people are looking at me, that I get on a roll. And good thing I do have the edit function, because I will get wordy. So I've covered quite a bit. Hopefully I can keep it to one a day. I have other videos you can check out as well too, and go from there. So hope everybody enjoyed this particular video. As you know, like and subscribe and all the things, because we're all tubers. We all should know what to do when we're on here. And we'll see you hopefully tomorrow, and be seeing you.